In this video, I'm going to introduce you to 8 more fun nugget ideas, and I split them down into 4 of them that uses 2 nuggets, and then 4 that uses single nuggets. So how this is going to go is I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 nugget configuration first, since that is where my 2 nuggets are upstairs, and then I'll head downstairs into my son's room, which has a single nugget where we do the single nugget configurations. Okay, so here we have a fun one that your child can climb. My son really enjoyed this configuration. There's nothing too hard about making it. It might not seem like it, but it's actually fairly stable. You can see I've shaken, even my son shakes around in it a lot. And even if you move this last one here so you can take a look at how it's set up underneath, it's fairly simple. It's just the 4 triangle pieces are holding it up, and you can see there's 3 of them still holds it up. However, I would definitely not suggest your child climb on it with 3 only. Definitely have 4 of them on there for your child to climb on. And the great thing about this setup is that it acts as a slide and a climbing mechanism, as well as a nice little place for them to kind of hang out on. And my son really enjoys this one. So next one we have here is a little booth that you can make with the 2 nuggets. This is an especially fun one if you have some make-believe food. My son has a lot of pretend lunch and dinners here. Okay, so the setup of this one is fairly easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and see what's underneath here real quick. So that's all it is down there. You can do any color combination you want. We switch it out every once in a while, just change it up. And if we wanted a little booth for my son to have fun playing his make-believe stuff, this is it. Okay, so my son has been really into climbing lately, so that's where this build comes in. This one is great for him to climb on both ends. And the only reason I have that little extra piece on over there is because if he does kind of come down too fast or slide down, he doesn't hurt himself. The other side, there's a little bit more room for him to play around with. There's nothing too special about the setup. It's pretty self-explanatory with all the triangle pieces right there in the middle, and then you have a thin piece right over it, and then you just kind of lay the other 2 pieces here. And the last piece, you can do whatever you want with it. So this is another setup if your child likes to climb a lot, like mine right now really loves climbing. So you have stairs right here on the left side, and then you have a slide right here on the right side. This is something he really enjoys playing with. All right, so the setup of this one is a little bit more complicated. So let me go and show you how I've done it. Okay, let's remove this piece here. That's probably the easiest piece to understand. And then you're gonna see all the magic of it underneath here. Okay, so that's how, oh, that one moved when I did it, but it's like that. All right, so these 3 triangle pieces is what keeps it up on the right side so that your child can slide. I found that it doesn't really matter where you set up these 3 initially. After you put all the nuggets on, you can kind of adjust them afterward to make sure everything is stable on top. And then on this side, you have the last piece here. And then right here, you can see there's a gap between the bottom one, which isn't enough to cause any balance issues. And you just lay the second thin piece on here. So just in narration, it is thin piece, the thinner piece, and then the thinner half, and then the 2 thicker ones. All right, now let's take a look at some of the single nugget views. So don't feel bad if you only have 1 nugget, because I have kind of versions of the double nuggets I showed you. First here we have kind of like similar to the slide we have upstairs. This one, let's take a look at it. All right, so this one is pretty much gonna be your typical slide. It is a little bit harder for the child to climb up, but so far I found that it's decently safe for them to kind of go head down first with this. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing is that these 2 here, I found that depending what you want to do, you can put the thicker piece here instead and put a thinner piece up here as a slide. However, I found that makes the slide a little bit more soft and wobbly. So I prefer to have the thicker piece up here and the thinner piece down there. But when that happens, you have to kind of put the triangle kind of the way I have it, where they're not perfectly touching each other. Normally, I guess you kind of do that and it would be enough. However, this one, I would suggest that you kind of just angle this piece in here, get it wedged up in there so that it holds everything nicely. So when it does, when there's weight here, it doesn't tip over anything. But I found that this is actually works pretty well. It holds even my weight on there. So I think it's pretty good. All right, here I have another configuration that has kind of like a mini slide again, and something for your child to climb on, as well as a little area for them, just kind of little nook area for them to hang out. if they want to play some toys underneath, or they just want to play some hide and seek. This is another good configuration that my sons enjoy playing with. Setup on this is pretty easy. All you do is place the triangle piece on one end, and then you put the thicker piece here so it kind of has a little slant for them. If they want to use it as a slide, they can. And then the thin one makes a little triangle shape, and you can put it on top just for looks. Doesn't really serve any purpose. So if you want, you can actually remove this one here and then double it if you want, kind of like this, if you just feel like this is a little bit more sturdy versus just having one triangle piece for them to stand and slide on. Alright, so here we have a single corner booth. So now you don't have to be sad that you don't have two nuggets to make that little booth for your child. This one works just as fine. The only thing is this one you will need to have your own chair for your child to sit on, or you can just have them stand up and play with it. Okay, so for the top portion, it's pretty self-explanatory on how to get it set up. For the bottom, this is how I did the triangles. I found that if you invert the bottom triangle here on the other side, it's a little bit more sturdy tabletop wise and doesn't kind of topple over as easily. And this way we have one that's kind of acts as a main base, and then this one acts just to keep everything flat. You're probably looking at this one and be like, well, what in the world is that supposed to be, Kevin? Well, it's a rocking horse. My son has really been enjoying this one. He's had a blast on this one. He just rocks on it and he goes neigh and everything. It's really cute to see him do it and play with this one. For this one, you will have to require you to have a balance board. As you can see, I just put the balance board here on the bottom, and then kind of just aim it in the middle with the thicker piece on the bottom, then the thinner one, and then I put the two pieces like that to act kind of like a little area for him to hold and play horsey on, and he's been having a blast on it. In fact, a little too much fun, I would say. And the reason why I'm saying he has a little too much fun, last night he was playing so much on it, he was having so much fun, he ended up busting my lip as we're both on it. And yes, this is actually good enough for even an adult. It might seem wobbly as you think it's wobbly, but due to how low the center of gravity is, I haven't had any issues of me or my son falling off of it. And the way usually I play with it is we move the triangles and then we lay on it and then just rock back and forth with him. And he really enjoys that. The only thing with this, I would suggest that if your child is getting on, I would highly teach them to stand here and then get on from the side of the triangle to ride it. And do not try to get on from the back, because if they get on from the back, the triangle might flip up. So you don't want that to happen. So anyway, just make sure you teach them to come in from this direction, and they'll be pretty safe on this. And it doesn't fall over or anything. Let me know down below in the comment section if you have any questions about any of the configurations I have, or if you have any questions about the Nugget Comfort itself, as we've had them for about 2.5 years now, 3 of them, and we've been pretty happy with it. So I can say I can probably answer almost any question you have about it at this point. And if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.